Okay, I guess someone will eventually let me know. It's good, thank you. What up, Arturo and Lauren? Nice, sounds good. What's poppin'? FMRL Productions, yes. I gotta clean out this camera coffin. I've been putting it off. This is super old school, man. I've had this Cine bags. This is the OG, man. I bought this during COVID. A chick was retiring from being a first AC. She was bowing out of the game, and the entire Cine bag, right? Like just these bags alone go for like $120. So this is the kind that opens up on the top. And as you'll see, like this is why I call it a coffin, because the whole built camera just pops down in here. Every camera I've ever had. So when I bought this 4 years ago, it was the Komodo, right? Fully rigged out. You just drop it in here. She had this whole bag full of all of her AC stuff for only $40. So I dropped everything and went and picked it up, man. And it was full of so much stuff that I still have today. Like a P-Touch, like a $200 P-Touch was in here. Like the bag alone is like a $200 bag. I mean, I've had it for 4 years and I've definitely put it through. You can see, like I leave all the like when it's just like trashed out, like I just leave all the pockets. So I just threw these cord bags in here because I want to I brought these out here to help me organize this. What is this now? What? Sorry, guys. Hold on. What? Sorry, that was a buddy of mine just texted me some crazy message here. I don't know what that was. Okay, let's see. FMRL. I got a Cine bag backpack style for my Komodo X. It's dope. Man, you talking about the big one, right? Like, man, I had my eyes on that for a while. I love Cine bags, by the way. This is probably like my first Cine bag was the big, huge square one, like the really, really big square ones. I had that for years. That can work as a coffin as well, but it doesn't have like the nice padding around it. You got to kind of like put stuff inside of it. You know what I mean? Like the kind that has like a big lid on it. It's basically like just like a big box. I think that like that's the actual first AC Cine bag box. Bag box. That was the first one I had. I still have the crazy shoulder bag. It's called the DP bag. I still have that. And I have their little I mean, other than this one too, I have their monitor bag. I absolutely love this. A dude gave this to me. So this is really slick. But I don't know, it's not like I'm not an affiliate with them or anything. I just kind of like love their gear a little bit. Someone was saying that like they don't like how they put their label and like logo all over it. I don't really mind it too much, but I know the backpack you're talking about. I wanted that one really bad, but I ended up getting the Wandered bag instead because the Wandered bag was kind of just like more sleek. It was kind of more like low profile because the Cine bag one is quite large, right? Like the one I was looking at anyways is like really, really big. So I was afraid of being like a turtle on the airplane. Yeah, man. What up? What up? Jeff Fagan's in the house. Wow, dude. You guys know Jeff, right? Check out his channel, guys. He's always doing nice stuff over there. What up, Jeff? Nice. Yeah, mine's a box. Yeah, it's the boxy kind. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to attempt to clean up this Cine bag. There's just like, you know, when you get going on a few jobs, what ends up happening is I just throw junk in. You know how it is like at the end of the shoot, like I don't really, I'm horrible at like organizing at the end. I'm just like, throw it in, let's get out of here. So this bag just becomes like chaos. So I brought some, well, this is supposed to be my audio kit, like, but it's just like cables thrown in here. Like I'm so bad at organization, which is always a treat when I get to be on a job where I have my first AC. Shout out to Jimmy Grove because he's so good at organizing. Like he's the opposite of me when it comes like as every good first AC should. But I should say he is not really trying to be a first AC anymore. You know, he's starting to take Steadicam classes and stuff. So going to try to get him operating more. I did get him to operate a little bit on the last music video. If you guys have not seen Poison the Wells, tremble level music video, I believe that's the name of it, Poison the Well. I put a link to it in the community tab. There's a little snippet of it on my Instagram at Kid Tech, but go watch the whole video. Those guys are like hardcore. It's an amazing band. So but yeah, that's the last big one we did, and that's the one this one came off of, and it's just so much junk in here. I got my meters just kind of tossed in here. You know, turtle power. Yeah, dude, turtle power. They used to call me Turtle Boy. There's a joke behind that. If you guys know who Andrew Reynolds is, I kind of look a little bit like the pro skater Andrew Reynolds. And so when I was coming up skateboarding, they started calling me Turtle Boy because Ed Templeton's character Turtle Boy is actually modeled after Andrew Reynolds. And so one of my friends, he used to call me Turtle Boy a little bit. It basically means we got that weird little weird chin situation going on. Yeah, dude, turtle power. So I got a lot of crap in here. I keep my I have these little baby, I have these everywhere. They're these little tiny baby rolls of gaff tape. I swear I find these everywhere, but these are so nice to have because you can buy these in like a 3-pack, right? And they don't come much larger than this, but I swear by these just just for as little gaff bags to have, or little gaff rolls to have in every bag. I absolutely love it, man. It's just like a little tiny bag, because you never know when you need a little piece of gaff, just but actually this is like half the size. So you buy these in a 3-pack. But you can notice they're like, it's like baby gaff, it's not like normal size gaff, but for me, just to like have because I use gaff for everything. So this is what I'm saying, like this bag just becomes like full of crap. Watch your eyes on this. You might saw this in my filter video, right? I love having these just like neck torches. I don't know what they call these, but like you can pick these up at like Home Depot. So I always have these on shoots, because usually you're standing around in the dark. But certainly at the end when you're wrapping out, it's so nice to just have this around your neck and not have to deal with your phone. Like I hate messing with the flashlights on the phones and stuff. And this is just the way to go. And what I like about these is you can kind of aim them up, I don't know. I'm not trying to like have that kind of thing, but like I'm just explaining the stuff that I accrue. And this is because this is my main coffin. This is like the main one. This goes on every single job. Stuart Monroe, what up? He said, nice. Yeah, those are some OG skaters for real, 100%. He said, have you got any skate sections online? Just my own stuff. Probably not even this channel. So I actually have like, I have some I think I have like 3 other channels floating around in the YouTube universe, but not anything. Unfortunately, the only stuff I mean, sadly, a lot of my tapes were like old school VHS, like my sponsored tapes and stuff. And I think those got destroyed, unfortunately, and we never backed them up. I have like some footage of me skating since the titanium leg was put in, which isn't like anything to write home about because that was only like 10, 12 years ago. Like my hiatus was like 1997 to like 2002. That was like the prime of my years. And yeah, that was way before digital times, unfortunately. I just had my rod taken out. You did? So mine's been in there since 06, and mine's a little bit different. Like I was told I can't get mine taken out because there's too much bone missing. So I left it in, unfortunately. But I know everyone says the game plan is to take it out. How long was your rod in, Stuart? I'm just curious. Because that is the gameplay to take it out. It's better to take it out. Mine's been in there since 06. So I got a bunch of crap in here. I keep this in here. This is a little, this is old school, small rig, 15 millimeter clamp shoulder pad. I don't ever barely throw it up on my shoulder, but the biggest reason why I like this, well, I'm recording the FX, well, not recording, but we're streaming on the FX6 right now, so I can't really show you, but like this sits perfectly under the V-mount. I don't know if you guys have seen my other FX6 videos, but I have the wooden camera battery slide, right? And this, where I have the rods come out, this sits perfectly underneath it. So if you wanted to shoulder, it would be the nice weight there. But really why I do it is because if you notice that, I have a magic arm is strapped into the back there. See that magic arm back there? Yeah. So what I do is that's where I actually put the Teradek or whatever wireless video transmission system we're using. I put that right there, and then I swing this around and I tighten it as tight as it'll go. And the little transmitter just sits right behind the V mount. So it'll go camera, V mount, transmitter, and it's just like all seamless, one long rectangle. And that has been like the best place to put a transmitter, because otherwise you put it up high, it gets in the way of the easy rig, or you have it on the side somewhere and then you're like hitting it or something. It's like the best place is to just put that puppy behind the V mount. That's what I do anyways. But why am I putting him back in? He said, I just had, yeah. I got a bunch of crap in here, this old school stuff, This is what I mean. Like, you just start accruing stuff in here, and before you know it. So what I'm gonna do is maybe I should have one for like accessories and start throwing it in these cord bag bricks. I don't know if you guys saw these yet. These are their new ones. I don't know how I feel about them yet. They're kind of weird. They don't open the whole way. I know you can barely see in here, right? But you notice like right there, like it comes and it stops. I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I didn't know if people would be around tonight because the Super Bowl. Any sad Chiefs fans out there, or any super stoked Eagles fans? I'm more curious to know how the world felt about Kendrick's halftime performance. I saw someone saying like it was the worst halftime performance or something. I don't know why. It was almost like his greatest hits, you know. He laid out all of his greatest hits, I felt like. So I'll show you this too. So in my monitor bag, these are legit. So in here you can put all your cables and crap, and this actually holds a 7-inch. It's got nice padding in there. I always keep these. Do you guys keep these in your camera bags? Do you know what that is? It's a silica gel. I buy these by bulk from Amazon, and I just throw them in like all of my cases just to kind of fight against moisture and stuff, you know? Yeah, dude. Okay, here we go. He said, I had a titanium rod put in 6 years ago. Okay, but for about 6 months, my leg wasn't healing properly. Oh, really? They ended up inserting an antibiotic coated nail, which wore off after a couple of months. Kendrick's set was decent. Can't complain. That's how I feel too. I liked it. FMRL. I liked it. So hold up, Stuart. So what was it like? How big was it? Because mine goes from the knee to the ankle. This is all rod in here. So when my leg busted, there was like this much of my bones on both of them. The tibia and the fibia was gone, right? So like there's a little bit of it starting here, and there's a little bit of it starting here, and then there's a huge gap. So it was too much missing bone, and they that's why they put the rod in there, and they bolted it to the knee and to my ankle ball or whatever that's called. So maybe you had a little bit of a smaller one or something. I never heard of that. A antibiotic coated nail. What the hell? Where's it at? Where's it at? In your arm or something? He said, hold up. I have a shape bag like that. Need to organize as well. What up, Content Shack? Shape bag. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, so this is the Cine bag one. This is what I use as my coffin. So to reiterate that, if anybody missed that. So this opens up right here. I've had this bag for years. I got this super dirt cheap. So yeah, you see that? So this right here, this is when we actually had rains. We got rained on this past week. So I was covering up the camera. These are called cappets. So I always keep one of these in there, and I actually used it for like the first time in like probably 3 years. Yeah, you can see this actually widens out, and you can just drop your whole rig in there. The whole FX6, fully built with the huge 28 to 135 with the V mount. Just drop it right in there. But yeah, Shape has. I seen Shape making the square boxes too. He said, I have a tib fib spiral fracture. Oh yeah. Oh, FMRL has one too. What the heck? All right, it's the titanium rod gang. Okay, that's cool. After that, they replaced it with another titanium rod, and everything was fine for 5.5 years. But then in December, my ankle started hurting and I couldn't walk. Damn. Great for a build-out camera and accessories. Old BMX guy here back in the day as well. Damn, yeah. See, that's the thing. That's what I feel like. I feel like a lot of extreme sports people end up doing camera stuff. A lot of Steadicam guys I meet out here, they come from the skateboarding world as well. It's pretty rad. Like Chris Ray, you guys. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you know who Chris Ray is, or Martin Phobes, all those guys. I had screws in the rod, and since then, I've only just started walking around a lot better. I'm a BMXer too. Damn. So you guys know who Austin Augie is, I imagine. You know, Austin Augie, he was a BMXer. I guess he technically still is, but I don't think he's like competing anymore. Now he's like he's also like a full-time YouTuber. I mean, the guy has almost like he's got like 500,000 subs. He's got like 500,000 subs. And but lately he's like really big into documentary, like street photography and stuff. He's got kind of an interesting thing. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you should check him out. Yeah. Ego Austin. Is that what they call him? Nobody likes him. I recently discovered him, and I'm kind of into his little short films that he puts out. They're vlogs, but he calls them short films. They're pretty artsy, you know. He uses dehancer and all that. Did you guys see the dehancer video? What do you think? The one that I did. Let me know what you think about that dehancer video I did. Some people kind of not taking a liking to it. He said, nice, rolled on a GT Pro performer. Ego Austin. Martin Soaring still riding. Martin Aprio in California. Nice. Okay, shout out. Content Shack. He's okay, man. He's okay. Demander was good. I don't know. Oh, dehancer. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, the dehancer video, right? Did anybody notice my inspiration of the character I was doing? Not the weird little part, not the beginning part, but like I was trying to be the mayhem guy. I'm obsessed with that guy. I'm like, dude, I want anyway, so let's see what we got in here. So see, this is where I keep like a lot of this stuff. Extra Allen keys, but what's most important in here is this right here. I keep a lot of these extras. Do you know what that is? Hold on. Let me hold it a little better. Can I get it in front of my face? The Sony is just too good. I don't have an influencer camera, so it's not going to jump to it. But do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Can you get an idea of what that is? It's too blurry, huh? Can't tell. What if I hold it back here? Now it's too tiny. Who knows what that is? Yeah, I like the video a lot. Thank you. The acting skills, one-man band. Hell yeah, thank you. Blurry. Yeah, no, it's too blurry. Sorry, guys. That camera is just, it's too good, man. It locks onto my face. It won't let go. It's the Easy Rig nub. So I always keep those. Yeah, this is the problem. This is my problem. Like I'll have little things and I'll be like, yeah, these are cool. And I'll drop them randomly around. You know, when you buy the Easy Rig quick release thing, you know, the little quick release pop thing, it comes with a bunch of those they look like little chess pieces, but they're like 1/4, 20, and 3/8, all different sizes. You get like 6 of them, I think. And what I end up doing, I just sprinkle them around in like every AKS thing I have, I find them. I gotta stop doing that, you know? Does anyone else do that? So see, this is the problem. It's like, there's so much random stuff in here. This is like AAA batteries. I don't even know why I have AAA batteries. Oh, you want to know what? I know why I have the AAAs. Hold up. I know why I have the AAA batteries. This right here. This is old school, but I still have this. Is there anybody that's been around since I've been making a video? I did a video on this a long time ago. This is the little Bosch laser measurer thing. These are so great for you can get these at Home Depot, Lowe's. These are so great for kind of like pointing at stuff, you know, when you're too lazy or you can't reach something, you're like, move that, you know, it's pretty rad, but it also takes the distances. So I must have thought that I was going to be using this on the last job. So I threw AAA batteries because it takes 2 AAAs. See, I got to take all this stuff out. Sorry if that was loud. I got to take all this stuff out and kind of like figure out a system here because it's just, and then I just shot myself in the eye with that laser. It's just too chaotic, man. Look at this. Got a Titan arm in there. See, you never know. I'm going to put this in my monitor bag. I should keep that with my monitor bag. You guys got the Titan arm. Look at this random stuff. Well, my lens cap. So that makes sense. That's usually what I do. I'm going to put this in my monitor bag. I usually put the lens caps in here so we don't lose them. You know, this is the lens that's currently on the camera. And then I'm guessing this is the body cap. Yeah, so that's the body cap right there. But I don't know why this is in there. This is some random step-up ring. See, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know why all this stuff gets thrown in here. Too much random stuff. I should take this out and fold this up. The cappets. These are a lifesaver, man. You just put these around anything that, like, you get caught in the rain because they stretch. They're like a gigantic shower cap, basically. But they'll cover your whole camera. You throw them over monitors. Love these things. They're called cappets. Cappets. I'm gonna shove this on this side here. I got all kinds of random stuff in here. That's what I mean. I brought another little cord bag out. I'm gonna make a little like AKS little bag. What did I do with the baby one? This is the big one. Oh, this was like hardware. I thought I brought out another little square one though, because I got one of these, This is random. I usually keep this in my main AKS. So I have another like hard shell Pelican on wheels. That's like the actual AKS. This is what happens. The stuff that's supposed to is going in that one, it always ends up in this one. This is supposed to just be like main camera stuff. But this right here, you can most of this stuff. I get this at like local hardware stores because this is also at Lowe's. This is a thing to plug into any plug to know like if the outlet is working properly. These come in handy all the time, man. I swear, because they'll be like, oh, the light blew, and I'm like, what? No, and like a lot of times it's where you're at where the outlets just randomly don't work. So this will save you a lot of like running around. So I always have one of those on standby, and I always have these as well. This is a V mount thing. It's like a splitter, so it'll turn one V mount into not only it'll turn one DTAP into multi DTAP, but also it's got a USB on the other side too. So it just like opens up your ports. You got to be careful with these though, because you don't want to overload these things, Yeah, see all this little hardware stuff I got to take out of here. And then I'll put my cap it back down in there and zip this up. That's all I want in there is that one cap it. But check this out. I got a little baby NATO rail. Look how tiny that little NATO rail is. It's just 1/3/8 and 2 airy locking pins. It's kind of the goat of the NATOs though, because then your monitor just goes right there. It's if you don't need a lot of space to slide back and forth. If you just know like, boom, this is where the monitor is going to live. This is the goat right here. Because it's the, not only is it a bigger bolt with the 3/8, but it's got the locking pins. That puppy ain't going to spin at all. It's just random though. Like, why is that in there? Doesn't even make sense. What up, Aramov? Am I saying that right? Aramov. I got another 3/8 in here. What I was gonna do, I got a new setup for scanning my film. I built it today. I built my own like copy stand, but I didn't want to pull it out here. I didn't want to. Was anybody here for that last stream? Scanning my own film. Oh yes. Do me a favor, guys. If you're up in here, hit that like button for me. Just do me a solid. I got a bunch of these randomly around too. You can't even see this stuff. These are little spigots. What do they call these things? You can't even see that. Can you even see that? No, there's no way you're gonna make out that. It's I forget what they call these things. Sprigs. You guys know about sprigs? They're like little tiny. They make them in 3/8 and 1/4-20, and you screw them into any part of your cage wherever you got 1/4-20 or 3/8, and then it's a little cable holder. They're all over my rigs, man. But they're just I have so many of them. They're just randomly like they're everywhere. I gotta try to keep them with the cables sometimes. It's chaos, man. It's chaos. Yo, what up, buddy? Christopher Duran. What up? Christopher Duran in the building. Yeah, I was just telling these guys that I built my own DIY copy stand today, but I didn't want to. We'll wait on that. Maybe next week we'll be live streaming from inside indoors, and I'll show you guys the DIY stand that I made. I got this. I always got this, my color chart. Let's see how bad off we are today. Yeah, you always need that. Someone was saying, I saw recently, someone was commenting about this saying like, oh, mine sounds like it's going to break when I open it. I think I know what they mean though. It is super stiff when you first get it, but mine's so old. I've had this for years and these things are solid, man. But yeah, that eventually, it's like I was telling them, they're like, should I send it back? I'm like, no, dude, the plastic just needs to be worn in, man. Just don't worry about it. I've even sat on this one so many times because I'll leave it in my back pocket and forget about it, and then I'll sit on it. These are solid. I mean, I get it though. They're expensive, so I understand probably his concern, but nah, man, these are solid. I think, look at this little slide pocket right there. Do you see that? I think I'll slide that right in there. Okay, what's Aramov? He says, yes, it's Aram, LOL. Interesting that you're going live today. I remember a video where you shot in RAW and purposely underexposed. I'm filming ProRes RAW next week and might revisit your video. Not this again. Yeah, dude. Yeah. People were fighting me on that, and they continue to fight me on that. Here's the thing why I say that it's silly to to try to fight me on that. Okay. People act like I made that up. Yeah, I took that straight out of the American Society of Cinematographers. Probably like 6 years ago, they did a post on their Instagram about it, right? And Christopher Probst, he's a big time DP. He talks about it. It's like a literal thing that ASC teaches. It's part of their manual. You know, they always will shift to lower ISOs when they're in very low light situations, and just the opposite, you know, if they're in really bright situations. And because what it boils down to, it's not like let's just shoot lower ISO. It's not like they're not doing it just to do it, right? So they're doing it, and it's not so much about like what you were saying about the underexposure thing either. It's not to like purposely underexpose. What it's really about, it's you're shifting the dynamic range of your camera, right? That's what it does. So on the lower ISOs, you're actually going to have more dynamic range in your shadows, and at your higher ISOs, you're actually going to have more dynamic range in your highlights. So that's literally why they do it, and it's just all cameras. Well, I shouldn't say all cameras. Cameras that can shoot in RAW have that capability, because, you know, cameras that shoot RAW are obviously gathering more information on the chip, you know? So that's kind of a thing. And like, and it is baffling to me, the amount of people that debate me on that, or I get the craziest comments and messages about it. And it's wild to me, the stuff that people, the hill that they choose to die on. And then to some people, it might seem to them like I'm choosing to die on a hill, but it's like, dude, if the ASC is talking about it, to me, it's like game over. Like that's the end of the discussion, right? Like daddy just hit mommy at the dinner table. Everyone stop talking now. Like that's what I feel like. Like if the ASC is saying it, then the word is bond, man. Like I'm not going to debate it. Like, you know what I mean? But I guess people that don't understand that, or I don't know, or maybe they just don't respect those practices, or they probably don't even understand what the ASC is, or I don't know. I can't explain it, man. But yeah, that it's good. I would say do it, dude. Do it. Stuart says, I've been looking to buy a mini DV capture deck. Oh damn! I started uploading full tapes of all my BMX stuff and have begun working on a doco about Australian freestyle BMX history. That's badass. So that will come in handy. Yeah, dude. 100%. 100%. That sounds awesome. I was debating buying an older Super, not Super 8. I have a Super 8, but like a High 8. Is that what they were called? High 8, like the old High 8, Sony High 8s. But then I'm like, nah, man, I'm good, dude. I'm good. But yeah, for your like if you're trying to save old footage, 100%. If shooting RAW, you got to choose more details in the black or the highlights. Facts. 100%. And it's all dependent on whatever you're shooting, right? Like just be, and then that's another thing. Like I should clarify that too. Just because the ASC says it, it's like, oh, we're always going to do that. No, that's not true either. Like I don't want, like I don't want people to like misunderstand. What it ultimately boils down to, like you take that knowledge, you take that practice, and you go, okay, that's awesome to know. But then it also, at the end of the day, it is about what you are capturing, but more importantly, what your project that you're working on demands, right? Because maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you don't need the information in the shadows. So then it's like, okay, well, screw it. Then we don't need to worry about the shadows. Like it is like project specific, but you just know, like if you have that practice in your back pocket, it'll be there for when you do need it. Thanks for breaking it down. Yeah, 100%. No worries, man. Break rules on purpose, not by accident. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, 100%. There was something else I was going to say about that, but now I drew a blank. Dude. I keep one of these around. You got to have these fatties, these fatty flatties. That's what it is. It's a fatty flatty. I love these for just get that quick release plate on and off. I'm starting to get a lot of crap here because I lost that other cord bag. I thought I had another little tiny cord bag that I brought up. Yes, here it is. All right, I'm going to keep all my random hardware in this one. This one will be camera hardware, I guess. And this one will be like more like stuff that probably is going to have to go back into my other. Well, actually, this I need to keep handy, though. I need to keep the fatty flatty handy. But this random stuff like this, here's another little baby magic arm. It can't beat the Titan arm though. I'm actually gonna put the Titan arm in my monitor bag. Keep that with this. Because I don't rock a 7-inch on board. I rock the 5-inch. It's on the camera right now, but I'm not a 7-inch guy. I mean, I also have the video assist. That's how I do my live streams, through the video assist, because the video assist can act as a webcam with its USB-C. And that's a 7-inch, but I don't like my onboard monitors to be 7 inches. It's just too big, man. Too big. But I forget what the other thing I was gonna say about that. I'm gonna put this little baby magic arm in here with the random camera hardware stuff. For the other stuff, maybe I'll just start a little baby cord bag with just like random bits. See what else we got in here. Look at this. Just like balled up Kimtech wipes. Like, nah, they don't need to go into anything. Just like throw them in there, dude. Kimtech wipes. Like, now they're probably useless. They probably got so full of dirt. I should just toss those maybe. Just a random little cord here, locking cord. All kinds of stuff. Directions for a Leatherman. We don't need that. So there's a lot of crap in here we just don't need, dude. But this, actually, what I should do, I should keep this front pocket for the tools, like the fatty flatty and the laser measurer. We'll keep that stuff right there. Oh, and I should also put my well, I'll keep my color chart right there, I guess. Let's see what I got over here. Look at this. A random pocket light. Which one is this? This is just a random pocket light. I didn't even know that was in there. I think this is the Andy Cine one. Little baby wannabe aperture MC or something. These little lights are just everywhere. I must have been attaching it to something because I have some Velcro on the back right there. Well, still got a good charge. I'll keep that in there. That's good. See, that's why stuff never gets organized. Because I'm like, yeah, that'll be good right there. Just keep it right there. But mainly, this is nice. So this side's already emptied out. So I had my meters in there. But I don't know if I want to put my meters back in there. Man, what was I going to say about that earlier? There was something going on about that. I think people are confusing with overexposing 1 to 2 stops to bring exposure down in post. Confused with using low ASA ISO in low light and 800 ISO or more in bright light. Yeah, it's possible. I think a lot of thing is too is like I think I confused people because the way that I talk about pushing and pulling is opposite of what the lab does, you know, but in my head I'm like, oh man, like, you know, like, and maybe that's my own fault for bringing that up because like that's a whole different world, you know, like film lab stuff is different than like our digital cinematography world. Like it's so different. So I probably should never even mention that stuff, right? Like I should have never mentioned push or pulling. But in my head, like it's like I don't, you know, like who cares, you know? like I got into an argument about this one guy about semantics because to me it's just like who cares about semantics? Like because in my head it's like yeah, I pull down to the toe or I push up to the shoulder, the soldiers. I push up to the shoulder, right? So that's just how my brain thinks. But like, and so, you know, I can see how I guess like, you know, I am confusing, I suppose. So I guess a lot of it is, you know, on me. I'll take a little bit of responsibility. But at the end of the day, like I think anybody that has, you know, any little bit of intelligence can hear a person like me talking and be like, oh, I see what he's saying. You right? Like I would think, you know, like but the problem is like if you get caught up in the semantics of it, then that's all you hear, and then you're like, well, no, he's wrong about that, right? So then like if they get hung up on one wrong thing, then that's all they want to go back to. Like, well, you were wrong about this though. It's like, well, yeah, I'm just talking differently about it, but like what we're actually saying is it's actually the same. Like we're actually saying the same thing. But I don't always speak the same way that normal people speak, I guess, you know, it's like, it's like, so I guess I got to work on that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like maybe I should work on, you know, using correct phrasing and stuff. But, like, I don't think I will though, because to me, it's like, I think a certain way, and then I go, "Yeah, yeah, that's what it is." Yeah, I don't know, it's hard to explain, right? But, like, I think I'm probably, like, confusing all of you right now, like, you're probably like, "What is this idiot talking about?" "Hi, brother, how you doing? What up, Bad Karma in the house? What up?" He said, yeah, yeah, yeah. "One thing I noticed about what I like is I enjoy shooting at the second base ISO. I like the grain at that base." Yeah, yeah, that's true too. Y Yeah, it depends. It's like it can also be like a slippery slope too. Like, you might find yourself, like, you're always shooting at the second base, and it can be tricky because 'cause you're like, because a lot of times I'm just speaking out of my own experience ever since I got, like, well, it started with the A7S III, right? Because the A7S III has the same crazy second high ISO, and you just find yourself in a little bit of a downward slope because 'cause you're like, "Yeah, who cares? Just put that bitch at 12,000." It's like, and then before you know it, you're getting really lazy, and it's like, but also, yeah, it does. It depends on what you're doing too, like, is it worth it to stress out about? You know what I mean? Like, that's been, like, my thing, like, trying to go forward, like, you're working on something and you, like, get so stressed out about it, and then at the end of the day, you're, like, driving home, you're like, "I don't think this project was worth stressing out that much about." Do you guys know what I mean? Like, it's like we're not making the next Marvel movie here. It's like at the end of the day, it's like, we don't need to, like, stress so bad, but it is hard, because when you're doing your own stuff, you want, obviously, we all want to create cool stuff. We want to create things that we are proud of, but sometimes, if you're like me and you end up on certain jobs that you're like, you just know, like, after you've done a certain amount of jobs, you're just like, there is a little moment of surrender. At least that's what's been happened to me as of late, where you're just like, I've done enough of these kind of jobs, whether it's because of not enough resources or because the budget's just not there. So now you can identify those things early enough and just go, yeah, I don't have to be so hung up about it if it didn't go out the way I planned, because it's like, you don't have, not every single gig is for the real, not every single gig is for the website. And I'm probably preaching to the choir a little bit, but that one took me a long time to get that in my brain, because you get so like, oh no, it's got to be a certain way, and then you look around, you're like, dude, I'm all by myself, or whatever the case is. You're like, it's not gonna happen, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna make, you know whatever you think you're gonna make if the resources just aren't there. Is what I'm trying to say. So, like, we don't have to get so hard on ourselves about everything we do. But then again, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't want to make, I don't want, we also don't want to all become lackadaisical, whatever it's called, right? We don't want to get like super lazy, but I don't know. I think you know what I'm saying, right? Like, I hope so, anyways. Mm. Just got to make sure second base ISO doesn't take a major DR hit. Yeah, 100%. I know exactly what you mean. I'm speaking to a client and feel like I'm opening a can of worms with my suggestions. Yeah, especially now that we're talking about adding anamorphic lens to the whole mix. Ooh, buddy, fun time. Yeah, man, that's cool, dude. But he says, I'm speaking to a client and feel like I'm opening a can of worms with my suggestions. That can happen too. You got to be careful sometimes, like, because the, and I'll speak from my own experience too, again, because it's like, we get excited about a certain project, right? And then you're talking to the client or the producer, the director or whoever, and then they bring up some ideas, like, and it could be like a really like fun, wild idea. And then your brain starts snowballing with it too. And you're like, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, I know how we can do that. And then you get off the phone and you're like, well, fuck, we actually, how are we gonna pull that off? That happens a lot, right? Because like you kind of like feed into the dream a little bit because you're excited about it and you're caught up in the moment. You're on a live call, right? So you don't have time to pump the brakes fast enough. And then the call's over, and then you're just like, and then you're sitting there and it's all sinking in. You're like, oh fuck. You're like, wait, like, and then what happens is you're out there on the day and you can't deliver, you know, and then you got to be the bad guy when you're already out there. So hopefully what you can do is, you know, make up for that before you get there on the day, you know. So hopefully if you have another conversation, you know, you can kind of slip in like, yeah, you know what, I was going over that again and trying to like figure out how we could realistically pull that awesome shot off that we want. But honestly, dude, I don't think we have the resources to pull that off. You know, I mean, again, like I literally have been um, practicing that with this year actually, or probably not this year, but definitely, you know, over the fall, like last year, a couple projects that I worked on where, you know, I had to kind of like pump the brakes on stuff a little bit because you know, I just had to be able to approach it realistically. And really it's just because, you know, you don't want to oversell something, you know, because then you may not get brought back because they'll be like, oh, that dude couldn't do what he said he was going to do. You know what I mean? And it's like, because not everybody has the wherewithal. Not every director that we work with is going to have the wherewithal to know why those things couldn't happen, right? If you get them pumped up about something and then they're going to expect it to happen, they don't have the foresight to be like, how's he going to do that with only two dudes? You know, like they can't, you know, they're not thinking about that. They're not going to think about it logistically, right? They're just going to go off of like what you said you could deliver. So yeah, you do got to be careful a little bit. You don't want to get yourself backed up against the ropes, you know, in other words, you know. Hi, what up, KP Senti? Was about to rewatch your Sony RX100 video, but I saw you live. So hi, yeah, what up? Yeah, dude, still rocking the RX100, 100%. I love it. It was here in my pouch of my hoodie, but it's not here no more. I think I left it on the table inside, but I always carry it around with me. I'm snapping shots all day from the car. You know, you got that 24 to 200 lens. I'm just like, oh, there's something cool. You know, zoom way in, boop, got the shot, keep driving. Oh yeah, we out of here. Doing street from behind the wheel. It does video too. You know, I use it all the time for whatever, man. It's hilarious. That was probably one of the best purchases I could make as just someone that likes to make images, but also like I use it all the time for my shorts or the lives. Just put it vertical. It's so tiny. It's pretty rad. Okay, let's see. Have you messed with the nanomorphs? I've been thinking about renting the 42 mil full frame to test out. Yeah, the nanomorphs. Yeah, you talking about the Laowa nanomorphs? Yeah, they sent me a couple of them. I used them on well, they didn't send them to me. They loaned me some of those. And I decided to pass on the review because we'll save that story for another day, or you know, I talked about it on my Patreon, but I didn't do the review, but they were okay from what I remember. So I shot like a thing for a tequila brand. There was like a new tequila brand here in LA, and shot them on the Komodo. I think I had like the amber flare, I believe the red one, right? I think I had the red one. And you know, they were okay for what they were. I just don't remember being super impressed by them. It's been a while though. It's been a couple years. I've screwed up shots more. What up, Joseph? He says, I've screwed up shots more getting too hung up on the technicals and not paying attention to the actual image I'm shooting. Same. I've done that so much. Yeah. You want to know why that happened to me? Because I feel like it's easy to get caught up on the technical when you don't have it in the back of your head. Like you don't like it's not just like second nature, right? It wasn't until like I mean, honestly, the 2 years, I think I almost spent 3 years as a gaffer here in LA while I was also doing this channel and while I was also like doing my own DP work. I spent 3 years as a gaffer, and that was a thing I didn't really care about, but it was just like a great way to make a really decent second income. And but what it taught me the most is like it taught me really simple, like go to like just a bag of tricks for lighting, right? Because not only the stuff that you learn doing it yourself for 3 years, but also with all the different DPs that I worked with, because hands down, almost all of them always had like one little thing that they really liked to do with their lighting. And sometimes they didn't always know how to execute it, but if they told me what they wanted and they showed me the references, then I could figure out how to do it. But like just having all of that, it just allowed me to have like a nice little like pocket of tricks for lighting wise. Because for a long time the lighting was a big hang up for me for a long time. And I couldn't really focus on the actual image, right? Like what you're saying, like I couldn't focus on the composition. I couldn't focus on things as a cinematographer because my brain was so obsessed with like the lighting, right? And maybe a lot of that was because I wasn't always able to work with like a real gaffer all the time on the jobs that I was on. But even when I do work with a real gaffer, I think I'm a pain in the ass to those guys because I'm so into the lighting where like I want things a certain way. So that's been interesting too, having to figure out how to like take a back seat with that and be like, just let them do their thing. But then at the same time, it's like, I knew what I wanted, so that's where this is so recent. Like this is where I'm at right now, is where now I'm like, okay, I know, and this isn't with every gaffer I work with, but I've noticed with some of the gaffers that I don't normally work with, I found myself letting them, show me what they want to do. And then it's not always like what I would have chosen to do. You know what I mean? So I found myself kicking myself in the ass because now it's my fault that we're behind, because in my head, I knew like, that doesn't sound right to me. But because I'm so open to being a collaborator and like, I want to see, like, obviously, a lot of these gaffers, they have way more years than I do on set as crew, you know what I mean? So, in other words, they have more time on set as a gaffer than I do as a DP, right? So I'm always going to want to see what they're going to do. But because I've spent so much time lighting myself, I've noticed that there's parts of me that goes, that's not, I don't think that's going to do what I want it to do. And then what I've noticed lately is like, I was right. Like, and then what ends up happening, it's not what we wanted. It's not and more importantly, it's not what the director wanted. And then I'm going, damn, I knew that wasn't going to work. Right. So then it's my fault because I've allowed them to present me with something that I knew wasn't going to be the solution. So that's the battle where I'm at right now, where it's like, damn, I got to figure out how to just kind of politely put my foot down a little bit, or figure out a way to kind of integrate the two ideas, right? I don't know, that may be a bag of worms for a different day. Sorry, I just kind of get caught up in my head there a little bit. Under promise, over deliver. 100%, Joseph. Under promise, over deliver. 100%. KP says, I want to get one because of the size, but that price though. The nanomorphs are pricey. I don't remember what the nanomorphs go for. Hold up. Let me, I got to put my cables somewhere. Let me see. Maybe I'll put my cables right here. Let me see. I just want to look up and see. So I'm trying to learn OBS. Right? This is only my third live stream ever, guys. Right? I was trying to learn OBS, but I'm gonna have to watch a whole video about it because I want to figure out how to share my screen with you guys. But anyways, I just want to look this up real quick. The nanomorphs from Laowa. I don't remember them being super pricey. No. This one on Adorama is only $560 used. So if you just Google nanomorph Laowa, but I see, yeah, like I guess if you wanted them, I don't know, are we looking at the right ones? I'm looking at the weird cylinder looking ones. Because you can get 3 of them for $1,800 used. It's used off B&H here, but you can get a 3 set for $1,800. I mean, that's cheap, bro. You get a 27, a 35, and a 50. Yeah, those are the ones they sent me. Canon RF, amber flare. But what's weird is I had a 60 mil. This is a different like focal length range here. Interesting. Let's see. I have a Sony Nex 5 TL with the basic lens, and it's clunky. What do you mean, for like an old school camera? I don't know what that is. What's a Sony Nex 5 TL? Have you tried the Atlas Mercury 1. No, I wish. Eyeing that one to use for this project. Oh, Atlas Mercury. Dude, you're a big dog now, boy. Yeah, man, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah, I wouldn't even second guess that. If you get a budget for that, I would get that ASAP. If RX1 R3 comes out, if it ever comes out, will you go for it? I probably would. I probably would, but I don't know. I'm not. I mean, other than the little baby RX 100, I'm kind of like not into fixed lens cameras anymore, unless it's like specifically the pocket cam. But we all know if they come out with an RX1R Mark III, we all know it's not going to be a pocket cam, right? Because it's gonna have a big beautiful lens on it, right? So, um, here's the biggest downside with spending a huge chunk of money on a fixed lens camera. If anything gets on that sensor, it's game over. Like it's toast, right? And they all have holes in them. Like there's holes everywhere on a camera. Like even like the hole to put the battery in the camera, right? There are holes everywhere. Like if it has speaker holes or whatever it is, it has holes on it, right? The camera has holes. And if you use it enough, and if you use it like you're supposed to use a camera and you're going everywhere with it, you're bound to get shit on that sensor, right? And it's like, dude, I can't imagine, like you're dropping at least 2 grand on a camera. 2 grand on a camera is too much for something to get on that sensor. And then, and who knows? Maybe one day you got to drop down to f8. Who knows? Maybe you do. I shoot at f8 all the time for street, at an f8. As soon as you drop down to an f8, you're going to see every fleck of dust in the sky. You're going to see everything, right? So that to me is like my biggest, as goofy as I may be, like that's why I don't want to invest a lot of money into a fixed lens camera anymore. But I do think that I also don't think they will make an RX1R Mark III, because I honestly think that the A7C line is the new RX1R. Like, it kind of is, it's now the new interchangeable RX1 camera. I had a dude try to trade me his Sony A7C Mark II with a Typoc autofocus. It's to make M mount lenses be autofocus plus 2 grand on top. He was going to trade me all that for my M10, and I almost did it because that was a pretty sweet deal, right? You get the camera, you get the badass little autofocus thing from my M lenses, and 2 grand. But at the end of the day, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. Weird tangent there. I know. What light box, softbox are you using? Would you ever use a colored light like Amaran 300C as a key light, or stick to bicolor lights like Amaran 200B for best skin tones? Yeah, the skin tones suck. Was that your way of saying skin? The only reason why I say that is because what I'm using as a key light here is an old cream source I have. I featured it in a video like last year, the year before. There was a video I did where I featured a really old cream source light. It's a Mad Max light. It's from Mad Max Fury Road. It's the same lights they use on Mad Max Fury Road. I compared it to the Nova 600, but that's what I have right now. I have that old school cream source, and it does shift a little bit green, but I don't have it directly on me. It's bouncing into an ultra bounce. I don't do any more direct light. I try to avoid it as much as possible. And the downside is the music video we just got off of, we ended up in some situations where we're doing direct light, and it just, oh man, it made my insides just like, just like, oh, why are we doing direct light? Like, and even though it's softened off and it's gridded off, it's still, if it's not bounced, I hate it. I hate it so much. But yeah, like I actually prefer using a daylight balanced only light for my key light, because it has so much punch, and then it can take the bounce, because imagine if you're just using like some little bicolor light and you're trying to bounce it. Fair. But then what if you have to break it with like some diffusion, and all you got is like a 300 bicolor light? So it's already bicolor, so it's only half of what your daylight would be. You're bouncing it, so you're losing more there, and then you're going to cut it. You're going to lose like another 2 stops there. You're like, damn, dude, by the time it hits you, I hope you're shooting on Sony. You know what I mean? So for key lights, like I always use daylight balanced lights for the key. Usually, if not, this one's powerful enough to where I can gel it. Do you know what I mean? Like the bicolors, you're going to lose a little bit. But here's the thing. The cream source, like the newer cream sources, for instance, I have a few cream source lights. I do have a bicolor cream source light, and it is the same output in tungsten that it is in daylight, but it's a very expensive fixture, right? So I don't know that all of Amaran's lights have that capability to do that. You would just want to check that, they'll tell you in the photometrics, right? Almost all photometrics are on B&H for any light. And usually 9 times out of 10, the tungsten is, like you say, is going to be way less output. So that's why I don't really mess with bicolor lights for key lights. Not usually. Oh, I meant the RX 100. Oh, you mean the newest RX 100? You mean if they make like an RX 100 Mark 8? Nah, mine's good enough. You know, those little cameras are expensive. Mine's good enough. I'll just hold on to the 7. I'll hold on to it. Amaran 200Xs. I don't know. I don't use any Amaran stuff. I don't use any aperture stuff. I just don't. They kind of like blackballed me, and so like so my stand to that was to like never use aperture stuff. That's more of like a personal thing though. Let's see. 100% iFootage 400 BNS. What is that? I don't know what that is. Let's see. Do you use any kind of mist or fog to fill a room? I'm looking for a set it and forget it solution that automatically mists the space. I mean, I just use a. Normally, if I want consistency, like I talked about in my filter video, I just use a smoke filter. Sorry for the whistling. I use a smoke filter or I use a fog filter. I mean, you're going to have consistency then. And it's going to look like there's haze in the room. It's going to look like there's haze in the room. The only time it sucks if there's a window in your shot. If there's a window in your shot, the smoke filter is going to look so crazy. That's the only downside with using like a smoke or fog filter. But if you don't have to worry about windows, use the filter. Other than that, good luck, dude. I mean, I wouldn't get these little handheld things I see everywhere. So many of these companies have hit me up and want to review their handheld thing. I'm like, no, dude, no. Like, I don't want to be sitting there like fogging like every 5 seconds. I would just get like a good little hazer. There's one, like the ones that I used to use, they're made by this company called DJ Chauvet or something like that. Chauvet haze machine. They're badass, dude. They're like little tiny things. They can pump it out. Get a bigger one if you need a bigger one. I've had them in a couple different sizes. I mean, those are kind of the way to go. But I would certainly get a hazer, a real hazer versus a fogger. The haze has a much more normalcy to it, you know, than a fog machine. That's just my opinion on it, though. I want to get into the RX 100 because what I got is clunky. Oh, I see. And I just want my selfies to be decent. LOL, and some casual photos. Hoping to use one comes up in a price. I like, dude, get an older one. I see them all the time here in LA. Like, get the, I wouldn't go any older than the Mark V, but anything from the Mark V and up is going to be beautiful, you know? The only reason I bought the 7 is because I wanted the newer Sony Color Science, but that's why I say get the 5, because the 5 is all, the 5 and up all have the newer Color Science. Maybe it's the 5A. The 5A is the, like, if you see the 5A, that's the one to get like the VA. But I think even with the Mark V, it does have the newer Color Science. But anyways, I knew with the 7 that I would have the newer Color Science, and I knew that I would have S-Log3, even though it's only 8-bit, and I knew that that would have HLG. But also I wanted the 24-200 for like, you know, for when we do our doc. Like I just wanted to have, I wanted like a long zoom lens for all the travel stuff. But if you don't need that 24-200, the Mark V is a way to go because it's a 24-70, but it has ND, and the ND works for video even. And that is a game changer, you know? So I would do that 100%. Let's see. That's what I've been eyeing. I think it is the VA. Yeah, the VA is cool. That's the one I almost got. There is a pretty famous Italian street photographer. Man, I can't remember his name. But he uses the VA, or at least he did last year or the year before. And his whole Instagram is like he walks around his little Italian neighborhood, and it's just like tons of like people that hang their clothes on clotheslines, but it's like the most beautiful shots, man. And he does all of them with the Sony VA. It's pretty rad. So I think he's the guy that got me like hooked on the RX 100s. But then there was also a DP that I used to gaff for here in LA, and he always had one in his pocket. And he had a really old one. I think he had like the Mark III or the Mark IV. And he was always like, you got to get this. I don't know why you don't have this. You got to get this. And so those two guys combined. But then I still had to do like 2 years worth of research and debating with myself because they're expensive cameras, man, especially for how tiny they are. All right, I do this what I always do. I'm not even like, so look at this. I always keep these on deck. I've never used these, but I have them. They're the extra batteries for the FX6. This one has like D-taps built into it. The ones made by IDX or whatever. I never used them though. like you get these, and because all I do is use V mount and the battery that the FX6 came with. I've never used these. No, that's not true. I use this smaller one on the gimbal. That's not true. I use this with the Ronin RS4, but this big one, never use that. Not that I can recall, anyways. But I'll just keep those strapped in here with the Velcro on the side. Cool seeing you. I've been following your stuff for years. What up, Trevor? Trevor, going back to when you first put up your skating videos. Damn, they're on this channel? It's not anything to write home about. I think it was probably stuff when I was in Detroit. Going through it, probably. Little 40 mil. LA seems popping. I don't know. It does. I learned a lot about how judging color accuracy of lights from your content. Yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Thanks, man. Glad I could help. Get you a little color meter. Speaking of LA used market, I've seen these color meters going for dirt cheap lately, where I'm like, man, I guess if I would have just waited a few years, I could have got one for, I saw one the other day for like $500. They're like $2,000, man. I was like, wow, dude. But also, I think it's because a sign of the times. That's funny you said LA popping, man, because I read a really sad post the other day. So I'm in all these Facebook groups, and a dude, he's in the union. He's in the union as a I don't know why I'm putting these in here. He's in the union for I think he's like he's a rigging guy, like a grip guy, and he's selling his entire truck. He's taking a voluntary suspension from the union, like, because last year is like the hardest year he's ever had. But I mean, that's what I was kind of saying a couple streams ago. Like, it's so bad. It was a bad year. And I don't think I fully could wrap my brain around how bad of a year it was for the industry, because we were gone on the trip, right? Like, we did 11,000 miles cross country last summer. So like, we were a little bit removed from like what was actually going on here in LA. But yeah, I see, you know, he's not the only dude I saw talking like that either. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't know if it is popping, bro. I don't know anymore, man. I keep this in here. Do you guys know what this is? Dude, you can get these at your grocery store, like in any pickle aisle, right? This is like a little grippy thing. And this is to actually use to like open up pickle jars. But dude, I swear by these, because these come in clutch for screw-on filters. Like if you're working with a lot of old vintage lenses and your screw-on filters get stuck or something, these are the GOAT, man. You can just pop stuff off. But not even that. Even like if you get like something stuck on your cage or something, it's just like this weird little gripper thing. I swear by these things. I got a few of these in random spots. I swear by these. They're like pickle. I don't know what they call them. I don't even know what they call these pickle jar grippers or something. I guess if you got big strong hands, you ain't gotta worry about it. But me, I got little piano player hands, man. A whole aisle for pickles. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess, well, you know, it's like the pickles. Well, actually, it's not the whole aisle, but there is a store here called Super King. Shout out to my LA peeps. You know what Super King is? It's like the GOAT. It's like where you go to buy produce, but they have like at least half the aisle is all pickles from all different parts of the world. So I always buy these Russian pickles, but they're like $14 for the jar, man. They're not cheap. And it's not a big jar either. It's like a little jar like this, and it's like $14. But they're like the creme de la creme. And why is because I went to school in Moscow, in Russia in 2009. I did their summer session at the Moscow Art Theater School, and the cafeteria, because I would eat lunch there at the Moscow Art Theater School, and they had those little pickles. And when I saw those at Super King, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm buying these. I don't care. I'm buying them. Yeah, dude, can opener. I guess it's called a can opener. Yeah. When I think of can opener, I think of the thing that goes on and then you twist it. Yo, a real trip in the house. Let's see. He said, yeah, man, that's super sad, bro. So many people have put in so much work to learn their craft. Yeah, dude, it is sad, bro. Just hopping in, dude, just picked up an FX30 on Friday. Pretty excited. Nice, dude. Man, I know. I'm thinking about rebuying one too, honestly. Let's see. I use those grippy things all the time for filters. Hell yeah, see? A whole hour. Oh yeah. Okay, so what up, tactical operator, run and gun, Duracent master of the deserts of Utah. Dude, that's a wicked name. He said, I saw a guy using pliers to remove a filter here on YouTube. I cringed. See, dude. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that thing just breaking? I guess if it's a cheapo one, I guess it don't matter, you know, like a Neewer filter or something. Stuck filters is literally my worst nightmares for lenses. Hell yeah. It's been really fun chatting. Definitely subbing now. Oh, thanks, KP. Gonna binge watch the rest of your vids now. Oh, cool, man. Maybe don't go further than a year ago. It's really hard for me to watch it's hard for me to watch videos 2 weeks old, let alone like I see one of my videos pop up on YouTube sends me my own videos. Like I'll be on my feed and it sends me my own videos. I'm like, this is me. Why are you recommending my own videos? But it'll be like one of my old ass videos. I'm like, are you trying to say something? Like, do they want me to like make these unlisted? Like, I've debated this too. Like, I've thought about it. I'm like, man, some of my old videos, I'm like, there's a part of me that like wants to take them down, but like just make them unlisted. But then there's also a part of me that's like, no, I can't do that, man, because like there's still people out there that are like, you know, what if someone's just starting and they want to buy the Pocket 4K, for instance, right? Like, I feel like, you know, my starter guide, you know, that has like almost 100,000 views. Like chances are they might stumble across that video and it might help them out, right? So I'm like, nah, man, you can't take it down, you know? Like that's the whole point of a vlog, right? To like have like a library. And I noticed that about Austin Augie. Like if you notice, like all of his old videos are gone. Like he only has like the last year or so. I'm like, oh, he must have like curated his YouTube. And I guess maybe that's why I started thinking about it. But I'm like, I can't do that, dude. $200 off right now, $1,700 out the door. The FX30. I literally watched your Nikon bought red video today. LOL. Wife walked in because me laughing was unusual. Yeah, like a lot of people hated that video. Man, people hated mine. I've done like I've done 3 videos on it now. Maybe even 4. I've done a lot of videos on the Nikon red thing. And I get so much hate from those videos, like so much hate. Like people hate it when I talk about that shit, dude. So I try not to do that anymore. I just let it go, man. I think I still have at least one lens. I can't get the filter off. I think it's cross-threaded. Ooh, yeah. Have you tried the pickle thing? We might have to cut it because I'm out here in the garage and it is getting cold out here, guys. FX30 for $750, $1,750 for an FX30. When I bought mine, I only paid $1,500 for it. Brand new, $1,500. So $1,750 would be more than I would want to spend on one. I'd have to check the going rate here in LA. I don't know if I would do the FX30 again. I love that camera, and it would be a great B cam for the FX6. But the reason why I say like I don't know if I would buy it again is because look at this. I got one little. Where's the second one? I don't know. It's not in here. Only one. The only reason why I say I wouldn't buy it again is because like I'm the type of dude that's like, oh, I had that, been there, done that, right? So I'm always weird about that. Like I don't want to. I don't know. Like I guess it's like the gearhead in me where I'm like, nah, I got to get something I've never had before, you know. I mean, I could just get the A7 or no, what is it? The A6700. Supposedly the A6700 has the same exact sensor as the FX30. It also does 4K 120 with no crop. It also is 10-bit. The only thing you're missing is you don't get DCI and no shutter angle and no true 24p. So, but what I like about the A6700 is that it has a true mechanical shutter. So I kind of like that. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet because I need to find another little camera for it to really scan film with. But I want to make it a smart purchase. So if it's going to be like, you know, like I'm not just going to buy it for like, this is only for scanning film. Like if I'm going to get another camera, then it needs to like also be like a B cam, right? So maybe it would have to be the FX30 then to like make sense. And you can still take images with the FX30. So I could still scan film with it, right? So it could still work, I guess. What are you saying what to, Jonathan? What are you saying what to, Jonathan Wu? He said, it's 49 degrees in Huntington Beach right now. Not too cold. Well, I'm by the beach. Oh, you live in Huntington. Dude, that's too cold for me. Dude, I'm a Florida baby, dude. Like this is all too cold for me. It's all too cold for me. I paid $1,400 for my A6700. Yeah, that's brand new though, right? Like that's brand new. I think that's the brand new price. No fan. No fan. Yeah, I hope not. Thanks for the bag tour and advice. Got to bounce and eat some pickles. Peace. Later, FMRL. All right, brother. Random question. Is there a camera you think people are sleeping on because of gas? Gear acquisition syndrome? What do you mean sleeping on because of gas? What? Why would they be? Maybe I'm confused by the way I'm reading that. You mean is there something I think people are sleeping on because they're reaching for the latest greatest thing? I don't know. I would probably have to think about that one. I really I don't I don't follow it. I don't follow like every camera manufacturer hardcore. You know, I really don't. Um, and the honest thing is the stuff that I'm into is like older than like what a lot of other people are using. Um, I'm a huge fan of there's two cameras I'm a huge fan of. And they're also cameras I've never used, but I'm a huge fan of the images that I see people making with them. It's the Fuji X-H2S. That camera has been a camera that I have low key been a dream camera of mine for a long time. The X-H2S from Fujifilm just looks like an awesome, amazing camera. Internal ProRes. I mean, all of the specs are great. I mean, it just looks like an amazing camera. And then the other one is the Leica SL2S. The Leica SL2S is another amazing camera that I think, but again, those are older cameras, you know. So I think like, you know, no one cares really much. But I think the XH2S is even like still sold new, right, on Fujifilm's website. So I think like that's a still valid camera. But I don't think people are sleeping on them. Like who is it? Like Joshua from Cine Dailies. He still uses the XH2S. So I don't think people are sleeping on it. It's just not as a popular of a camera. And like the Leica SL2S is just too old because now they have they got the 3L or whatever they call it, the 3SL or whatever they call those cameras, like um, the 3SL. I guess it's called the 3SL. Yeah, those are the only ones I can think of offhand that I'm like kind of into. You know, that maybe I would get, but also I probably wouldn't. There are 3D printable filter wrenches that you can print for a few cents in whatever diameter you need, and it was helpful. A long time ago, I screwed all my rings together, and I've learned since. Dang, that's a good idea. I'm going to go watch FX30 videos. Okay, yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. I don't have nothing against the FX30. I may end up getting another one. I gotta find it dirt cheap though. Like I gotta. That's the way I am. Like I'm trying to get it. Like, but actually, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to trade my lenses. There's some lenses I'm trying to trade out, and I'll be like, dude, I'll take whatever camera, like anything. Like I put in the listing, like the cameras that I'm looking for. Like, so if I get an offer, then I'll just let the lenses go, and then I'll get the camera. I'm just trying to do like a straight swap right now. The OGR5 now that they released the 2, maybe so. I'm not a big Canon guy. I'm not a big Canon guy. I first picked up a camera in 2020, A6300. I remember that. That was a popular one, right? A6300. Then 2022 Sony A7 III. Yeah, Sony A7 III. Those are cheap right now too. And now FX30, just trucking along and upgrading. Yeah, dude. I have a Komodo X and I love it. Damn, Jason in the house. Komodo X. R3D RAW is crazy good. Of course it is. I'm thinking of also getting another camera for solo shooting though. Something with great AF, maybe the FX3. Yeah, FX3 would be the way to go for sure. For that, you know, autofocus for sure. But why not see what Nikon is offering, and then you could probably have something that, you know, with their, just maybe sit and wait and see what Nikon is going to bring out now that they're going to have the same sensors, dude. So it's going to, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say the same sensors, but they're going to be working with the same codecs. They're going to be working with all the same great stuff. So, and you have a Komodo X. So, I mean, I think it would probably make sense to see what the Nikons do. Sup, dude? What up from stage to screen? I'm going into shooting a horror film tomorrow night. Thoughts on how key lighting for horror? Um, Guys, give from stage to screen. Let them know some advice in the chat about, you know, horror stuff. I've done my fair share of horror. I shot the viral film The Chair for the popcorn culture kids. That one went viral. I shot the feature film Shadow Marsh. I guess that was more of a thriller, but technically a horror film. I don't know. The tricky part is it's like you the inclination is to go dark, you know, but I think it's important to remember, to do natural looking dark actually takes a lot of, it actually takes a lot of firepower. Do you know what I mean? You actually need the light to make it look dark. Does that make sense? Like, because in the beginning, like you just try to make a lot of dark stuff, and you're like, ah, this looks like ass, you know. And then, but then what I started doing is like just like bouncing, trying to get as much level in there as you can, and then have a really good LUT that you have in all your monitors. Put the same LUT on every single monitor, right? And make sure that it brings everything down to like the level that you want it to be, that like the way you want it to look to the director and everything, and like the idea of the final way that you want it to look. And just toggle between that and what it actually looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're probably gonna, like, for instance, you could light this, like you could use what I'm lit as of right now, right? This doesn't look horror, right? But you have a LUT that you have that's like -2, and this could be a totally different vibe. You know what I mean? But you know that the information is there. You just don't want to find yourself in a situation where you're losing too much information. But I think with like low light, a lot of times what I like to do, I don't do this. I don't do like no front light. You know what I mean? Like what I'll do, like room tone a lot. Like I'll have a lot of light just kind of like falling from above, whether you got like a light sock for your tubes, or you got some kind of rig. Like I used to take like I used to make that turkey sandwich light where you take the tubes and you bounce it into a board, like a chloroplast board or like an ultra bounce. Basically, you're just blasting the tubes. Basically, you take a soft light, you blast the soft light into an ultra bounce, and then that just falls down. But then you cut that again with diffusion. Man, I used to do that. I did that on some. I did some. I gaffed for a K&N. K&N, like the car company, K&N filters. I gaffed a bunch of commercials for them, and we were in this garage, and I had this light mat just like hanging from the ceiling, and it was a light mat. It wasn't that big. It was like a 2x3 light mat, right? It's pretty small, but I kept billowing out diffusion, like it started out with a 4x4, and then I went 6x6, and then by the end I had a huge thing of diffusion, like clamped to each corner of the garage. So then it was just like a huge pillow of light just like falling, and that's all that, like that was the majority of the light. And then after that it was like this little garage clamp thing that we used. I took one of those, those shitty little like clamp lights. They're like $7. It's like a clamp, and then it looks like a thing you put into like a chicken coop or something. And I just had a little Nix, like an Astera bulb in there, and that was it. And I think I had one little baby tube that they were using because, I put a little tiny tripod handle on a baby tube, and it looked like the kind of tubes that they use in a mechanic shop. And that was a funny thing too, because like all the car guys were like, nobody works on a car when it's this dark. But like, me and the director were like, no, it's gonna look good, dude. It's gonna look good, And it did. It was like super dramatic. We put haze in there. Haze is your friend too with horrors. Obviously, haze. You gotta have the haze up everything, because that's gonna help lift your blacks. But that's what I would do. I would try to just use as much like falling room tone as you can, and it looks really cool. And then maybe just have some sort of like soft light that's like, your quarterback, like your upstage side that's kind of like coming in nice and soft and bounced. As long as everything's bounced, it's not gonna look like you're trying. Um, yeah. Okay, we got a little bit behind there. Good idea. If they can put out something with good AF, it will be worth the wait. Yeah, exactly. I haven't thought about getting another camera since picking up the Panasonic S1H new. I love that camera. I don't need no stinking autofocus. It would be nice though. Everyone says they don't need autofocus until you start using it. That's what happened to me. I was anti autofocus until like, what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago? I bought the A7S III, and then I'm like, oh. We are currently in the market for a new A camera, but I didn't really want to buy the aging FX6 or FX9. Why? How far away do you think an update is? Oh, what up? What up, Richard from Germany? Um, Richard. I did a YouTube short and an Instagram reel about this not too long ago. But so there was a thing I found a while back that said that there's a new update coming to the FX6, but not till like the middle of this year. So in my head, I'm like, well, that means that they're not gonna have their new FX camera until like maybe like the third or fourth quarter of this year. So that's why I ended up buying the FX6 last summer, because it's like really far out. But there's also like a lot of people predicting that it's not going to be the FX6 that they replace. It's going to be the FX9 because that's older, But then someone said they're saying that there's going to be an FX3 Mark II before there's an FX6 Mark II. There's all these crazy predictions. I don't know, but I wouldn't see them doing anything until late this year, if not next year. Shooting dark scenes is a real talent. It really is. We are invested in Sony glass. Okay. Otherwise, the C400 would be very tempting, or the C80. Yeah, 100%. You got a lot of Sony glass. Yeah, it's hard when you invest in a certain that. That's why I say I only have 3 Sony lenses. Same lenses I've had since the A7S III. I don't like buying specific camera mount lenses. That's why we were saying on my Patreon the other day, they were talking about the Cook SP3s, and I was like, dude, I would only get those in M mount because M mount is so universal. Every camera known to man that's mirrorless anyways can take an M mount lens with a little tiny, and they have the tiniest adapters. That's the only way I would drop that money on the Cook SP3s if they were the M mounts. Only way. Okay, yeah, C70, 80, yeah. Oh yeah, dude, I've always been into the C70, the C80. Those, yeah, I love those little cameras. They're cool. A real trip. Was thinking of investing in inflatable diffusers. Yeah, have you used any yet? Yes. Thoughts? I think the only one I've seen was from Lightbank. The music video we did, the Poison the Well music video, they had 2 of them. They were 1K each. I forget the brand that they were called. They're 1K each, 2 of them, and we hung them from the ceiling from a pulley system. So we had 2,000 watts of inflatable lights hanging from the ceiling for the Poison the Well music video. You guys should go check it out. Yeah, dude. If you're gonna drop some dough on them, get them. I mean, the inflatable lights are cool. I mean, I know they make some more, more like kind of like prosumer versions, but yeah, that would be the way to go. And then you don't have to worry about rigging some crazy thing overhead or anything like that. From stage, what are you shooting on? I just shot a horror film on my Komodo X. Yeah, dude, Komodo X. Thanks. I'm shooting on FX6 and Ronin 4D. FX6 and Ronin 4D. And Typox Samara C's, both cameras and lenses, E-mount. Typox Samaras, huh? You liking those? I don't know how I feel about those, honestly. Okay, dudes. I got one V-mount left in here. One nano V-mount. I guess that's it. I guess I didn't have as much crazy shit in here as I thought I did. Well, the good news is that I got this like in these cord bags now. You'll have to let us know about those Typox Samara C's. Typox, they were making those. They were making like some generic M mount lenses, right? Like they had some weird stuff. I remember those now. Yeah, Typox. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about all those random lens companies. I don't know how I feel, man. But I get it. It's like it's affordable. It's affordable. It's what's out there now. There's so many different companies doing it. Like the cheaper, affordable cine lenses. It's hard to say no to them. If you can get them but you bought them in E-mount though. So that's the only thing I've always been hesitant about. Is like, even though I know that they're not like super expensive cine lenses, but still, it's like, I don't know. I've always been hesitant about that, of like buying lenses that could get you locked into a system. You have to really like that system, you know? Yeah, he says he likes them. They're small and simple. I like the look. They're fast. What are they? They're like a 1.4 or something. Okay, Justin, gonna head out. Yeah, dude. Thank you for the stream. Gonna rewatch your raw video tomorrow. Dude, do it, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, dudes. I think I'm gonna cut it too. It got kind of cold out here. I've heard the rumors about the FX6 update as well. That would suck. Depending on its actual specs, the FX9 could definitely be an option for us and our work. You know, I don't know, man. Yeah, T1.5. Holy cannoli. Yeah, that's fast, dude. I don't know. Like the FX9, we've had it on a few jobs, and there the FX9 is weird to me. Like it has the old cards, right? It has the older cards. It can't do the high frame rates like the FX6 can. Like it can't do it. And then also, I guess the only cool thing about the FX9 is that it has that locking mount. I think that is the only good feature about the FX9, because the mount on that FX6, it is a little weird. My 28 to 135 has randomly popped off of that camera a few times, and it's been like, how did this come off of here? You know, it's just because the mount, it's a little flimsy, man. Where the FX9, it's got that nice solid locking mount on it. It's the only thing I like about that camera. Since we rely on autofocus, Sony lenses and Sony cameras have been the best option for us. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. We also have the DZO Arliss primes, which we could adapt to other cameras, but honestly, just because of the different color workflows, we're not really interested in anything other than Sony. I know. Still, buying an FX6 now just feels wrong. Yeah, I mean, probably, I get it, you know, but for me, I just didn't have any qualms about it, just because of the record of all the jobs that I was on that always wanted it, and people here still requesting it. It's just a super popular camera that clients want. I know that's not the reason to buy a camera though, but I know it's like it's old, right? It's old tech. It's like 4 years old, but I guess like what could be the advantage if you like, what, maybe one day you need 6K or you need open gate, you know, there's always going to be something else that we need, you know, I feel like, but I'm not trying to convince you of it, because I get it, because it's 4 years old, you know. But to me, I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't second guess it. I just didn't second guess it. I'm like, that's the camera I'm gonna get. But it fit the jobs that I was doing. It's gonna be the best thing for the travel doc, you know, like it fit the world that I was in. And I did think about it, like maybe I could get the C80 instead, because it was around the time the C80 was announced, around the time that I'd already bought the FX6, and I was thinking like, oh no, but at the same time, like, I don't know. But I guess too, I already had the 28 to 135, you know, so I was like, it's okay, I already have that big ass lens, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That lens has kind of dictated where I go, because I got that with the A7S III a few years back. So you get these lenses and it feels like they're a little bit of some handcuffs, but I'm not mad at the Sony, you know. I'm happy with, honestly, I'm happy with any camera that has the kind of all-in-one, right? So I would still be just as happy with the C80. I would be just as happy with C300 Mark III, even, you know, even an older one, you know, like it don't matter to me. I'm not trying to worry about like the actual tech anymore. Not too much, you know. I feel like 4K 120. What else you get, you know? What else you gonna need? I don't know. I don't know, guys. What is thoughts on Anora cinematography? You know, someone else was talking about that, the Anora cinematography. Oh yeah, the FX9 successor, the potential. Yeah, it's the potential. Thoughts on the DZO film Pictor zooms? Hey man, those are cool. I actually do like those. I've always liked those DZO zooms. I think they have a really nice look to them. They're warmer though. They're like a warmer look, but I like that. Right now I have a full set of Rokinon. Oh yeah, you got to upgrade, bruh. So far they haven't disappointed me, but I'm thinking about a zoom. Yeah, I don't have any issues with DCO zooms. I've always been a fan of those. I like that. They have a nice warm look to me. The bokeh looks good. Yeah, I don't have much negative to say about those. I can't comment too much on the build quality because we've only ever rented them. So, because I feel like if I have a lens that I know that I throw around and then I can kind of judge the build quality of it. I think that was the biggest thing because someone in here earlier was talking about the Laowa nanomorphs, that build quality. They're like plastic. You know what I mean? I was like, the build quality of those lenses don't seem that great to me. But it was the little cylinder looking ones, not like the bigger ones. It was the little cylinder ones. But the DCOs, I can't recall the build quality of how that was, but I do know I like the look of them. They look cool. I debated on buying a DCO zoom lens, but never did. But I don't think it would be a bad purchase at all. It was great catching up. I got to bounce, guys. Yeah, dude. All right, Trevor. Yeah, guys. Yeah, man. I think we'll cut it there, guys. It's like an hour and a half. But what is this? I want to look this up real quick. Thoughts on Anora? Is that a movie or something? I saw someone else talking about this. That's a film, right? Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. So I can't comment on that yet. But someone else, did someone else do a video on this recently or something? I saw this pop up somewhere. And yeah, or maybe it's just been a lot of people talking about this lately. So I'll have to revisit this. Ask me next week. Ask me next week when we come back. Yeah, Trevor. All right, brother. Thank you, man. Ask me next week, Richard, about, or who asked me about Anora? Oh, from stage to screen. Yeah, because I'm gonna try to start doing these streams every week, and maybe by then I will have more information on that Anora because I just saw all that today or yesterday or something recently this weekend. I did see that's kind of popping up in the zeitgeist. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. All right, dude. All right, we did strong. 21 people up in here still. That's amazing, guys. Thank you for the support, guys. Next video. I don't know what the next video is gonna be about. I got the other channel. I got stuff on the other channel I'm working on, my documentary channel. That's at Local Calls Photo. I only have one episode over there, and I'm just like way behind on that. We're trying to get back out on the road on March. So I do want to start putting those episodes out, but also I got the BTS video from the music video we did. So I had a shout out to Miguel, Miggy Vision. Miggy Vision came out and filmed BTS for us on that video. And I want to put out like a little artsy thing for this channel for the BTS of that with like, and cut it with the actual music video. And I think that'll be a really cool video to share. Just for, I could, because I don't ever really show, I don't get the opportunity to show the real jobs that I do here on my channel because, a lot of the stuff I work on is for other people. Like, I'm not like these other yahoos who can just go shoot for the sake of the channel. Like, that's not really what I do, So like, it's like, this is a fun one because now I can share that. And that was a real project. That was a real thing we did for a real band with a real audience and real following. And it'll be fun to kind of just share that. Like, I'm just going to like share it as like a fly on the wall piece, because Miguel, he shot BTS for me a few times. So he's just so good at it. And I just want to cut it with like the actual footage. So I guess that'll be the next thing to look out for. All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping in. And maybe, yeah, I guess this time turned out to be cool. So next week we'll hit it again. All right, guys, thank you so much.